Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Jordan here. Today we're going to be working on a pretty cool LEGO city task, and that is increasing the size of the Sanctum Sanctorum modular building. Well, oh my gosh, I was bringing the Sanctum Sanctorum over to my desk to showcase the original version of it and take some before photos, and it looks like that is not going to happen because I accidentally dropped the entire first floor. What a great way to start my little transformation here. Yeah, there we go. That's what the Sanctum Sanctorum looks like before the modifications. Oh my gosh. Well, at least the deconstruction process is already taken care of for us. And it's too bad that this time stone right there isn't working. Otherwise, I'd just bring it back to how it was. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, well, I want to increase the size of it because it actually isn't full modular building size. There's actually 6 studs right here that was like a back alley. So I wanted to make it full size, and I also want to increase the height of the buildings. Now, I can't really just double it in the sense of just replicating these nougat ones, because like the nougat floor, because that's actually not what the Sanctum Sanctorum looks like. So I have to reference some source material online to try and keep this as close to the actual Sanctum Sanctorum as I can, because I don't want to just make it some huge Sanctum Sanctorum that's not accurate to the movies or comics, right? But this staircase came up to like a second floor here, and you can see it was just pretty much like an open concept, just like the Sanctum Sanctorum in the movies. And then there's some book cabinets and all sorts of different relics on the second and third floor. And honestly, this should be pretty easy just to increase the size so that it goes the full length of the base plate. So what we're going to do is grab bags 5 and 6 and 7 from a second set, because we got a second set here. And those are the bags that actually create the light gray walls of the first floor, and try and sort of repair this mills plate and build it so it goes the full length. I've managed to somewhat piece this back together so I can actually visualize how we're going to do this. I think this staircase is actually going to be moved this way 6 studs, so that extra additional space will allow us to shift this that way, and that's actually going to give more clearance for this door because it's pretty tight in there. And then we're going to be able to do something with the second floor with that new additional space probably spanning across over top of the door. But either way, the first thing I need to do is pretty much extract all this and move all of these details, like this thing can be removed, move all these details back 6 studs, giving more space to the front entrance. So I thought it'd be clever to look at some source material when it came to doubling this building. And when I found this picture here, I was like, boom, that's what I want to do. Now, the original LEGO model actually does a really good job of representing this building. We've got the first floor, they got the second floor, in the third floor, the circular window, the arch going over top of that window there, that lines up with the entrance. But what the LEGO model doesn't have is what looks like a 4th floor right up here. So I'm going to try and add that to the double Sanctum Sanctorum, because I think this looks pretty cool. That's going to be a good way to add more height to the building. But I don't think I need to like duplicate the LEGO models second and third floor, like pretty much it's just the second floor, but you know what I mean, like this mid nougat section here. If I double that, it's just gonna not look proper, and I want to try and make this Sanctum Sanctorum. Okay, it's been a day, right? It started with me dropping the Sanctum Sanctorum, but look how it's ending. Sorting all of the parts from this set, because the new and improved Sanctum Sanctorum is done. Starting with the changes to the ground floor, I actually decided not to move the staircase 6 studs, but it's actually 5 studs, because the staircase is actually 1 brick taller, making it 1 stud deeper. Therefore, it could only be 5 studs of space. But now when you open those doors, there's definitely a lot of nice clearance. And there's also some additional space that was opened up right here because, of course, these walls are now 6 studs larger. So I threw one of the bookcases in right there, and then there's just a skull and a helmet on top. And there's a smaller bookcase over here, which is 4 studs wide, and then a goblet on top. Everything else has pretty much remained the same. There's a fireplace there. There's Doctor Strange's chair, then there's the medical degree, some pictures, like there's Doctor Strange and also Wong. And then there's some of the other details as well, such as all the sticker elements and also all the little Easter eggs up here as well, such as Wong's stuff. That was all sort of original to the set. And then once again, this can be removed. And then this back wall can be removed right here. And that's where you have the time stone and that book that's sort of locked away there. And there's actually the Tesseract behind that refrigerator. That's all from the original set though, right? Wanted to keep as much original as possible. But like I was mentioning, this entire floor has actually grown by 1 brick. So there's been 1 brick of height that was added. I just figured, why wouldn't we try and add at least 1 more brick of height to the floor just to get some more elevation out of this building. Also, there wasn't a whole lot of space between the window and the plate and tile top, and I just think that additional brick just gives it the spacing that it requires. And then there's snot bricks above that, and you can see there's a 1x2 with the slide above the windows, and then this had to be modified as well to accommodate that 1 brick of additional height. And then there's 4 trees rather than 2. I don't know if these trees are actually going to work out when we place this building in the Lego City in its position. The second floor received the majority of the changes. Now, there is still only 3 floors. Decided not to add more floors just because, once again, it got away from that source material that we were just having a look at there. So just increased the height of it, and actually did that by adding another chunk of windows right here. So there's these small 1x2x2 windows, and they have the grills mounted sideways underneath them rather than vertical. And then the continuation of these pillars between the windows. Now, it didn't put a window there based on the source material. That wouldn't be correct, so just kept that as a solid wall. But this right here, like the upside down hubcap, actually used to be right here, right above this arch, but decided to bring it to the top just because it looked better that way. On this side, there's not as many windows, which makes sense. Like here, there's a whole bunch of windows because that's the front of the building, and over here, not as many windows. But this was actually increased in height by quite a bit, right? We've got 1, 2, 3 bricks, pretty much like 4 bricks when you factor in the plates. So now this is a pretty deep building. Now, I did have to remove some of the snot bricks that were on the exterior because this was the alley. Also, there was like these little almost like little HVAC units were coming off these tiles here, and those actually activated the sliding mechanism within, like that little like play mechanism. You can still do it without like the little HVAC units coming off there. It's a little bit harder to operate, but in order for this to go up against the side of another building, and all of the studs and anything protruding off the walls had to be removed. But I kept the same style, so lots of masonry in tan and also nougat integrated into these walls, and just think it looks super cool because it's really tall. With that said, when you look in now, the walls are super tall as well. Didn't have enough of the headlight bricks to keep the window design the same. You can see those ones there. Use those modified 2x2 plates. Then there's some studs facing inside as well. I guess I could change those for normal bricks, but it's not the end of the world there. Pretty much the interior details are the same. So we've got the armchairs. I built this little like cabinet right there. And then the bookcases have actually been increased in height. For example, this one just has the addition of the 8 studs right there. And then this one over here, I decided to just build a cabinet on top of the bookcase so you could just stow away more things. Built a couple, I don't know, I guess I'll call them relics, just sort of whip those together based on the parts that we had left over there. That lamp is still in the corner. And then Gargantos is still removable, so you could have him flipped outside if you wanted to. Now this right here never used to be connected. This just used to end. So now this is connected so that you can actually stand right here and look down onto the ground floor. Just with the addition of the 6 studs, there's enough room to make that hole in the center. It just made sense to fill that in, otherwise the hole would be absolutely massive. You see what I mean? If that plate didn't connect across, then that hole that frames the staircase would be massive. So I like the fact that there's actually more studs here on the second floor. It just makes it look a little bit more complete. I don't know if that's going to be true to the source material. but it is what it is. I think for the Lego model, it just made sense to fill that, or like to connect the brown plate on either side. And I just really like the way that it frames the staircase. That was pretty easy to do. All you had to do was just modify the underlying plate that supports the floor so that it fills in the spot for like the alley, and also just extend that plate as well. And then just rebuild the walls, sort of move everything around, Frankenstein it, and then there you go. Kept with the original design here though, like once again, there's lots of windows, not as many windows on this side, and also this set of windows above the door is framed by the inverted slopes, wheel well element, and also curved slope. So the original design of the roof was just sort of carried over. We've got these large slopes right here in sand green, so it goes 1 and then a window, 2 and then a window, 2 and then a window, and then the framing of the light gray. And then we've got the Captain America sign there, which can be flipped inward as well. This stayed the original height. The only change that was made was the addition of the 6 studs to accommodate the larger building now, and then just a change on this side here. And then this was literally just filled in with more masonry brick and regular light gray brick. The interior details, some have been added. We've still got the hole right there. There is no staircase going up, and that was how it was in the original. There are some pictures right there of some sorcerers, right? Some cabinets with some relics on the wall and some tables. I also had these from my other Sanctum Sanctorum. I know we already have a time stone in this build, but now there's another one, and I just brought those cabinets over, put another set of cabinets right there, and there's also an old torso that I had of Doctor Strange, so I threw that up here as well. And then a table was added with another sticker element there. There's like a helmet, and then all of the original like little relics from the original set. And there's a chest right there and another chest from it, or across from it. There we go. And then if this is up against another building, this becomes a worry. So I actually put this cabinet one stud in, sorry, so I can actually move this. Oh, I have to flip it this way. So Captain America becomes upside down, and then I can just pop that in place there. So now when this goes up against a building, I don't got to worry about that Captain America advertisement, just like in the original as well. Pretty cool, yeah. And then there's the actual roof that will go on like this. This had to change as well because in the original there was actually inverted slopes that came off this edge of the building, and those inverted slopes were just flipped inward now, so that like framed spot right there now is flipped inward rather than being outward, and then the roof had to be modified for that as well. And now when you put this on, it is just flush. So it's like a standard modular building there, and that is just going to be perfect when it's pushed up against another building, right? Height-wise, the Sanctum Sanctorum is growing about 5 bricks because we've got 1 additional brick down here and then 4 additional bricks up here. But there we go. That's the finished product. I've got to say that I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, it looks better from like this angle rather than looking at the masonry, nougat, and light gray walls. But still, that looks pretty cool, right? Not too bad. Those would be pushed up against buildings anyway, but look at that. It just looks more complete. And when you refer to the original source material that I was using, that's once again this picture here, I just think it looks pretty accurate. And I'm actually surprised how accurate the original model was as well. But with the addition of a little bit of height and also a little bit of depth, I think this model turned out absolutely fantastic. And now it just needs some minifigures. This set comes with 9 minifigures. That's not bad at all. Like, look at that. We've got Iron Man, Spider-Man, Dead Strange, Ebony, Wong, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Mordo, and also Sinister Strange. Yeah, not bad at all. Okay, I think my goal is to not drop it while placing it in the Lego City. That would be ideal. Oh my gosh, please tell me one of you saw this, and please tell me this is in the comment section. I thought I removed all of the snot bricks so that I could slide up next to a building. Uh-oh, I've got to remove 1 more snot brick there. Luckily for me, it's probably the easiest snot brick to flip. Just turn it the other way. There we go. Hey, you know what? This set here, I was thinking to myself, is just a crazy parts pack. I forget what the retail price of this set is, but there are so many cool pieces, like these 1x2 snot bricks with the one stud. Also, like all the tiles, like so many tiles, because all the light gray ones going around the ground floor, all the masonry bricks, all the regular brick, a bunch of sand green elements, a bunch of reddish brown, whole bunch of light gray. Like it's all like neutral colors that are like really nice. It's just a really good parts pack. Plus it comes with some amazing minifigures that probably have a pretty good value as well. So there it is, placed in the Lego City. It's right by the construction site. Okay, I'm gonna crawl out from underneath the table here, and we're gonna have a look at the new double Sanctum Sanctorum placed in the Lego City for the first time together. From entering the Lego room. Here we go. All right. From afar, yeah, I love it. Like the height of it is just substantial now. It's like as tall as the construction site. That's epic. Also the width, there's no longer that alley there, sort of leading to nowhere. Oh yeah. It's sort of grouped together with some of the other Nougat buildings as well, such as the Birch Bookshop there. Also the Sit Complex or Sitcom Tower and my Nougat skyscraper there, which sort of has like a Sanctum Sanctorum look, like the old school Sanctum Sanctorum, which is currently a parts pack right down there. Oof. I'm really liking the look of that though. It's like a subtle difference, you know what I mean? It's not like it's monstrous. It's not like I've doubled the height of the building. Like I said, I only added 5 bricks of height, so it's not like a huge change, but also a lot of the parts were consumed for the 6-stud expansion as well. With that said, there were a ton of parts left over in the end there, but they're all good parts. A lot of sand green slopes, which is pretty cool. A lot of Nougat bricks were left over, and a ton of light gray tile, which you can never go wrong having in your inventory, right? I managed to take a still from the video to get the before shot. So here it is placed in the Lego City. This is before, and here it is after. A little bit more substantial, nothing too crazy, but I think it's just right. There we go, everybody. It's the new double Sanctum Sanctorum modular building built and placed in the Lego City. Let me know what you think of it by commenting below. Please remember to like, subscribe, and have yourselves a fantastic day. Farewell.